Hello and welcome to docrafts TV. Today we're joined by Keren Baker, who's going to show us a really lovely advent calendar Garland. And talking of garlands, I wanted to show you another project that features in the November issue of Creativity magazine. And it's this gingerbread and candy cane garland that's made using felt and the X-Cut decoration dies. And it's pretty cute, I would say. I really love the little gingerbread man. He's just adorable for Christmas. Hi Keren, welcome along.
Hi.
What are you going to show for us today?
Well, we've just made this Christmas garland, which acts like an advent calendar.
Lovely.
And rather than putting chocolates and things in, there's not space, so you can either put nice messages, or in the last one there's a little idea of where the gift actually is hiding. So you can actually put messages.
Like a little treasure hunt.
Yeah. Okay, I've made the garland just using card blanks. I thought it was quite a nice way of using up some of the card blanks you might have left over.
That's good.
So
very efficient.
For each, we're making 2 out of 1 card blank. So we're just going to chop it in half.
Fantastic.
And then we're going to seal them up before we die cut them. So just add, and you're obviously only going to want to put adhesive along the edges.
I see, yeah.
So just pop this, so seal both sides up. And obviously you'd make 24 of them.
Yeah.
We're using some of these new carnival
These
numbers.
Are great, aren't they?
They're beautiful.
So you've got the carnival dies in the X-Cut dies, in the thin dies there. And you've got the matching, same font, the carnival in the Paper Mania clear stamps as well. And we call them perfect partners because they go perfectly together.
Great. So you can either do it by die cutting and then stamping, or stamping and die cutting. I'm going to die cut first because it's quite easy to line up.
Yeah.
Whereas if you stamp it, you've got to be a little bit more careful about lining up the die. They're still both achievable,
yeah.
But I find it cutting out the die is much easier.
That's the way I've used them as well.
Now, if I put them like this, it creates the little
That's very
shape.
clever.
But if I do them both together, I just pop that. I should have done it on the opposite way, but it'll cut through that. But just using your craft pattern tape, if you're going to use it, just put it on your clothes first, get a little bit of fluff off your clothes so it's not too sticky. But this way, one rotation through means that you cut both of them at the same time. So I'm going to pop the number 1 on there. And then we've got a small circle, just cut that one down. And then we can also do the circles for the pattern paper as well. And the pattern paper I'm using is the 12 Days of Christmas range.
Love this. That's a great colourway, those, aren't they? They're
They
a little bit
are
different.
brilliant. And I'm going to, because the dies are really good quality, I can cut both of them, both layers together. So again, that's another time-saving tip. Okay, so put all those on there.
Fantastic.
My machine is set to 5.5, so I'll just pop. Sorry, it should be 4.5, not 5.5. Just pop it through.
Lovely.
And then we've got our shapes already cut. Just gently ease this off. So we've got our shapes cut into little garland pockets. Now what we're going to do before I...
so is that everything you need? That's everything we need for 1 envelope plus an extra one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. We've got enough paper for 2. What we're going to do now, before we put the express away, is actually going to emboss it. Now, the reason that I didn't emboss it first is obviously if I put it back through the express, it's going to flatten some of the embossing. So if I cut it first and then emboss it, it keeps the embossing nice and pristine.
That makes sense.
Okay, so I just need to change my dial to 6.5. So there's my little embossed pocket. So we'll just be able to put it all together now. Right, so I'm just using some red ink. Okay, so I'm just going to ink it up. And then the little shape that we've already die cut out, and just turn it over, and you'll see, it's hard for you to see, but it just lines up really easily. So then just press it on, and then just gently remove it.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
And it's all good to go.
They're lovely stamps, aren't they?
What I've done is I've actually layered over, you'll see on the examples. I've actually used this craft pattern tape. And sometimes when you're using embossing, it's quite hard to stick the images down because you've obviously got uneven parts. Whereas with the craft pattern tape, obviously it just goes into whichever part it touches. So it's a really versatile tape to use. So I'll just, and because it's nice and wide, I haven't got to put 2 layers on.
That one's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm just going to lay it down onto the middle, and no fussing around having to put adhesive on. It's just all there, ready to go.
Brilliant.
And you can tear it, but obviously for neatness, I'm just going to trim it. Then we need to add our craft pattern, our paper rather. So put that in the middle. And so we're just layering it all up. So I've just cut some cardstock down. I'm just going to cut a little fishtail.
Very nice.
Okay, just make sure it's the right width. Okay, and pop that one on.
Perfect.
And before we go any further with that, I'm just going to add some faux stitching with white gel pen.
Very nice.
Great. So we're just adding our little white circle. It just adds, it's a nice foil for the number.
That's lovely.
And then we're going to pop the number on. Now for the little extra parts, I've got these lovely shimmer dome stickers.
Can't beat a bit of shimmer for Christmas, can you? You have to have it.
They're really, really lovely. And I'm actually using, don't worry about running out of paper for embellishments, because I've just taken this paper, and rather than using the paper, I've just cut the individual little holly leaves out. And they've got lovely little messages on. And on the garland, to try and sort of change things up a little bit, I've used one colourway on one part, and then on the next pocket I've just changed it slightly. So I've just alternated between the blue and the goldy colour. And the same for these little holly leaves. What I'm doing is just putting them in different parts around the circle to just try and change the look of each of them.
Very nice.
So I'm just going to add some squares onto here. Again, just to add some dimension.
Those look great.
Okay, and I'll just pop that one up there. So to put it all together, I need to create holes. So I'm just using the screw punch. So I'll just pop that.
That's so simple, isn't it?
Yeah, they work so well. So I've got my little holes here. And then all I would do is, the way I've threaded it is I've threaded it across the back. And then if you obviously cut the piece of ribbon at an angle, it will help with threading. I mean, it will fur up a little bit, but then you just chop it towards the end. And then just pop that across there. So it's going to be like that. Obviously, I'm going to put my little card in. So I'm just going to get a little piece of twine. And again, I've alternated colours with using the pastels and the festive.
Perfect.
So to thread through, I'm sure everybody knows how to do this, but we just put a loop in from the back, and then we just loop these two parts here through the little loop there. And then we would just add some more stitching with my pen.
That looks great.
It just ties it all together.
Lovely.
Okay, so now all we need to do is just pop it in the pocket. And then it's ready to put your message or whatever else you're going to put on it.
Fantastic. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for coming in and showing us your project. That was absolutely fantastic. If you've made any Christmas decorations, or you've got a really exciting idea for how to do an advent calendar with a twist, we'd love to see what you've been up to. So drop us an email to tv@docrafts.com, and we could feature your projects on a future episode of Do Crafts TV, or indeed in Creativity magazine. Until next time, happy crafting.